Hi everyone, welcome back to another live stream, another stream of official Code Day update. Just waiting for a while to see if everything is in place. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me properly, if the audio is clear, and then we can walk through what this is, walk through a few updates of the platform itself, what you can expect. Like we did it last month, I would be interested in doing this live stream, this kind of stream every month where we are introducing something new. We are introducing new features, new courses, new ways of learning programming, using tech online instead of relying more on mentor or tuition based thing. Because tech makes it more affordable, more easy for everyone to learn programming. And hi everyone. Hi Jay. Hi Vimarsh. Hi Ankit. Hi Brocode. Nice name. So first things first, let's discuss about what Code Day is, which is the whole thing about this. So you can see I have dropped the link in the comments box as well. Code Day is basically our way of sharing what's new on the platform, what's new on the product, and just letting you know what changes are being made on CodeDam to make it better, to make it a better platform for you. In this edition, in this version of Code Day, what we are doing is introducing two things. The first thing is guided projects, which is something I'll really want to walk through once. And the second thing is a discount on full stack learning path. So let's talk about guided projects. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Let me just give me a second. I'm just going to walk you through what is happening on the CodeDam front. So you see, first of all, I'm just going to go to this Code Day tab where you can see there's a discount live on CodeDam's full stack learning path, which is 75%. Again, it's dynamic in nature. So every hour it will reduce a little bit. So if you go ahead and upgrade right now, you're going to get 75% off, irrespective of what your country is or what your currency is. So that is one. But like a lot of people would think, why to go ahead and take full stack learning path, for example, instead of a free YouTube course or a free Udemy course. So if you have a question like this, let me go ahead and actually go into why CodeDam courses are built different, why CodeDam courses are something which video courses can't replace. So the first thing which I want to go into is this guided projects area. So what this guided projects area is, let's say if you start this guided project, which we have over here. Let me just go ahead and reset this project thing first of all, and take a look at this page. So you see this is a Bird App social media project, which is available inside CodeDam's full stack learning path. You start this guided project, and the way this works is you can see on the right, if you focus, you have certain steps to complete, you have certain things to build. And this project starts with a way where every single step over here on the right, you can see, requires you to build something, right? Whether that's a page, whether that's a feature, whether that's something, and all of this happens in browser. The best part is that you also get a breakdown of what all you need to complete. So for example, if you're working on certain challenges, I mean, this step over here consists of these 4 challenges. So let's say we end up eventually completing all of these 4 challenges. So I can go ahead and start checking them off. So my landing page, let's say, is built. I have set up React router. I have done this, and I have done this as well. The moment I do that, there would be a submit button, which would be enabled, which I'm not sure if you can see. Let me just go ahead and close this. Yep. So you can now see the submit button or get started button over here. When you click on this, you move on to the next step. And all of the code which you have done in the previous step gets carried to this next step. So let's say if you made any changes, you installed some packages, you installed some things, you wrote some code, and you submit the step obviously after completing all these challenges, that particular code gets carried forward to the next particular step. This is how CodeDam guided projects work, and this is part of CodeDam's full stack learning path, right? This is just one of the many examples which are guided projects. Currently, there are 3 which are featured here. For example, let's say if you want to build a multiplayer WebSocket game on TikTok, or tic-tac-toe as a multiplayer game. Again, I'm just going to reset this project real quick. I'm going to start this guided project, right? So the important thing again is that this takes a step-by-step approach of building a landing page first, then generating a random invite codes, building a WebSocket server, game screen, and bonus tasks. All of this happens within the browser. All of this you do yourself by going through these instructions, setting up a proper front end and back end server, coding in CodeDAM IDE on React and on Node.js, and completing this project. Once you complete it, you can add it to your resume, you can add it to your GitHub profile, you can create a strong CodeDAM profile, and just showcase your work to the world, right? This is where I feel we provide a lot more value than simple static video tutorials, which you can find on Udemy or YouTube. Of course, if you can learn from YouTube and free resources yourself, you should stick with that. Otherwise, if you really want to build your portfolio, practice, and learn faster, it's better to take a guided approach. It's better to take an interactive approach, because in today's time, and always, I mean, this has always been the case, if you want to learn programming, the best way is to learn by building things. You can't learn programming by watching tutorials. You will see video tutorials on YouTube. Even at CodeDAM, we have a 21-hour course on YouTube itself on full stack web development, which has close to 1 million views. But there are no good 1 million developers in the world, right? No 1 million great developers. The reason for that is video can only take you so much. You have to practice, you have to write code yourself, you have to build things. That is what CodeDAM's full stack learning path is all about. And if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see a link to full stack learning path as well. So if you take a look over here in the learning path curriculum, you see it's an organized curriculum which starts with the basics of web all the way to full stack certification, where we have a few certification questions and certification exams, and topics like exams like interview questions for web development, right? Again, these are some of the things which we are constantly updating, constantly adding to more content. And as you know, that CodeDAM now is also open to instructors, right? So if you're an instructor, or if you know an instructor which might be interested in creating a course, these instructors, when they create interactive courses on Python, for example, or on various technologies, these courses will be added to this full stack learning path, right? Let's say if somebody comes up with a great Node.js course or a great Bash course, they get automatically added to this full stack learning path. And if you have license to this, if you have access to this, you will get access for all those new courses and all those upgraded courses for free. But again, I mean, you have to buy the path or you have to buy the pro subscription. Last month, I saw a comment. Someone mentioned if the cost was this and that. Last month, it was on CodeDAM Pro. That was a subscription, which is yearly subscription. If you're buying the learning path, you have lifetime access to all of these things: the guided projects, the new courses, the existing courses, basically anything and everything which you see on this page, you have access to that. And this consists of a lot of courses. So if you start expanding all these sections, you're going to see there are a lot of courses, from React to Node.js to front-end, back-end tooling to front-end basics, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React tooling, Next.js, Node.js, MongoDB. All of this, which consists of a full stack, is available here. So it's not exactly right to compare this to a course. It's more like a bundle of courses. But the best thing about that is that it is also interactive in nature, like I showed you the guided projects thing, and it's updating on a constant basis. So yeah, so that is one of the things which I want to mention. I am happy to take any questions, except for anything regarding, if you have any questions on what full stack is, or what you can expect to learn from this. Let me know what I can answer for you. I'm just going through a chat. Let's see. What's the update on job platform on CodeDAM? Like I mentioned, job is something which will take us some time to fix, because once we roll this out, we would not want to keep jobs specific to, let's say, India only, or a specific country only. We would want to tap into the opportunities of remote jobs. So it will take us some time to figure out all the nuts and pieces, and even contact these companies which are hiring people remotely. It's work in progress. It's still not production ready. It's still not something which we can roll out, but you will have an update on a functional update on when it can be rolled out in the coming months. Are these courses industry ready? If you mean that they are accurate, because that is what I feel industry ready means. Because Next.js, for example, as a technology is industry ready. So a course on that just needs to be accurate and complete, right? To be industry ready. So yeah, these courses are industry ready. These courses are complete, and a lot more courses are being added, upgraded. For example, React query and these things, which are changing a lot on a monthly basis or even a quarterly basis. So it's important to keep these courses up to date as well, and that is also being done. So yeah, one of the comments which I saw was this. So you don't have to confuse the price of pro membership, which is like a recurring membership, which gives you access to the full platform. The pro membership is here. If you go to codedam.com/pricing, this is the pro membership, which you can upgrade even today if you want to start learning at a smaller cost. But this is almost like a 1 month or 6 month or 1 year thing. The full stack learning path is a one time thing which gives you access to all the courses in that particular learning path itself. Pro, on the other hand, gives you access to the full platform for a limited time. So it's a trade-off which you have to make. Do you have enough money to buy full stack learning path, let's say for lifetime access? If yes, then you should go for that. If you want to start slow, maybe with a limited amount of time and money invested in the platform, then Codedam Pro as a subscription is a better choice. And yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're going for the full stack learning path, then this makes a lot more sense to go on codedam.com/codeday and take a look there instead of buying it at full price, which is, the usual price every single day. How many projects are there in the React? So if you want to take a look at all the projects, you can go to codedam.com/projects and you can filter them by front end stack. Right now, we don't have filters for React and technology bases individually, but a lot of projects which you see in front end can be built and rebuilt in React. Even if it is an HTML project, for example, the certificate generator is just an HTML project, but this can be built in React as well. And of course, I mean, like I mentioned, a lot of projects are guided. So we are converting a bunch of existing projects into guided projects. For example, let's say if we go back to this tic-tac-toe example, this earlier used to be a regular project where you would have to do anything and everything in a single file. But now this project has been converted into a guided project, which means that you would have step-by-step breakdown of everything and everything, anything and everything which you need to do. I'm from Bangladesh. I have a debit card that can't allow international payments. How can I pay? Chances are that your currency is already supported. If it is not supported, because we do have support for over 20 currencies on Codedam platform, depending on which location, which country, which city you're visiting from. If it is not supported, then I would recommend dropping an email to support@Codedam right away, because it is possible we might add it just quickly. But yeah, I mean, the best course of action is to just take a look at your bank or talk to them in order to allow the transaction, if that is the case. What is the pricing of full stack learning path? So full stack learning path, like I mentioned, starts at 20,000 rupees in India or 399 USD, wherever you're visiting from. But currently we are running Code Day as a celebration day of what all technology or what all features we are building or we are working on. And here we have a dynamic discount, which is an interesting way of gamifying the discount as well as providing advantage to people who discover the offer first. So yeah, I mean, this is something which you can visit to take a look at the actual price, because I can't quote a single price. It varies from country to country, and it also varies from time to time. For example, if you visit it after a few hours, it will be reduced. Like I mentioned, like Fuzail also mentions correctly, you should get a pro membership if you want to start with a small budget. That is awesome. You can, if you're a student, you can also apply for a student discount. Codedam.com/student helps you get a 50% discount on Codedam Pro. But if you get a pro membership, you can start with a small amount of money, right? You don't have to invest a large amount of money for a lifetime access. You can start with a monthly account at, 750 per month, for example. It gets down to 375 rupees per month for students, or I think $10 per month in US or any other country. So it's your call. At the end of the day, you're the one who has access to your finances and your education. However you want to manage it, that is something which you should do. System design and JavaScript. We don't have system design courses, especially in JavaScript. I'm not sure if that will be something which will be introduced in the coming weeks. It is system design is definitely interesting, but it's not covered in Codedam's full stack learning path as of now. Is your DSA course will be interactive? As and when DSA courses are launched on Codedam, they will be interactive, because DSA by nature, if you are working on some problems, they need to be solved by writing code. So there are no DSA courses as of now on Codedam. It's mostly full stack and Web3. But yeah, when they are announced, when they will be launched, they will be interactive, which will happen in the coming months. Because one of the things which I have seen out there in the industry is that even though a lot of people don't want to do DSA or don't want to do competitive programming, data structures and algorithms is still important for logic building, right? So you should have a basic understanding of what all data structures exist, objects, for example, hash maps, arrays, how to work with strings, and so on. So there would be a fundamental course or introductory course on DSA and things, and it will be interactive for sure. Harry says just lifetime, so I'm assuming it's a question. So the answer to that is yes as well. What are the technologies which we can learn through pro full stack course, especially the backend? So see, there is an opinionated way this learning path has been structured by me only so far. The way this works is, for front end and back end both, we focus more on JavaScript, because on front end also you use JavaScript, you use React, you use these set of technologies. So on back end, we continue this with Node.js, right? And with Node.js, we stick with the database, which is NoSQL, which is MongoDB. So we stick with Node.js, we stick with MongoDB, we learn about Linux fundamentals, which is Bash, something you will be working a lot with. We focus on Git and GitHub. We focus on CI/CD deployments, so how you can set up continuous integration and deployments using GitHub Actions, which is a CI runner. We focus a lot on Next.js, which sits somewhere in the middle of front end and back end both. You can do a bunch of serverless backend things with Next.js, so we learn about that as well. And we learn about production practices, web security, for example, how to make secure applications, how to not get hacked, how to deploy on AWS, for example. So we start by the end of the full stack learning path, we start transitioning from backend into a bit of not exactly DevOps, but into a bit of deployment, like how to host your projects and how to host your things properly. I'm a working professional with limited time. How does it help me? This helps you if you want to fill your knowledge gap. For example, if you are already working as a front end or full stack developer and you have access to this bundle, and someday you realize that you feel weak in React, or you feel something like, you're lagging behind in React, you can go to the course, you can go to the bundle, take the React 18 course. Maybe you don't know about what concurrent rendering is or what new features React has introduced. Over the weekend, you can just upgrade yourself to the latest standards of whatever tech you're already working with. Or on the other hand, if you want, you can learn completely new things as well. So let's say if you're already a front-end developer, but you have never learned how to deploy websites properly, you can over the weekend learn about GitHub CI/CD actions, which is how to deploy websites and using continuous integration, how to keep testing them, how to write end-to-end test. We also get into testing with Playwright and vtest and courses like these. So a professional can also use them depending on if your domain is full stack or front end or back end. Definitely useful over the weekends or whenever you get time. You can squeeze out some time and go through these things. Always a good idea, especially as a working person, to invest and reinvest in your skills so that you stay up to date with what's happening in the tech world. I'm a DevOps engineer working with Azure Cloud for the last 2 years. What should be the approach to upgrade myself with backend development concepts on the code level? So I think the first thing you can do is learn a language. Now again, it depends on what kind of role you have. Even within DevOps, were you actually writing code, or were you just playing with YAML files and just managing the infrastructure? If you were writing code, probably in Python or Node.js or any language, I would say like get proficient with that. Try to learn backend, how to serve requests, for example, how to create WebSocket servers, how to create applications using that language, which can be deployed. Because you're already in DevOps, you already would have an idea on how to deploy apps. So all you have to do is learn a particular language, learn how to code things in that, and you should be good to go. I mean, backend should come relatively easier to you the moment you learn a specific programming language. Can we work at Codedam after learning the full stack learning path? The ideal answer to this should be yes, but of course, I mean, every person is different. So, depending on by the end of the course, the level of understanding you have matches the requirement which we have, which is, we have a specific test where you have to build a certain app in the browser, which is, I'm just telling the Codedam's interview question, that is building an in-browser IDE on a small scale, just like Codedam has for playgrounds, like I showed you in the guided projects things. So that is our question for the role of full stack developer at Codedam. So if you can learn through full stack and clear that round, then of course. Does it have lifetime access? Yes, this particular path has lifetime access. This is one-time purchase only. It's not a recurring purchase, unlike last month, which was Codedam Pro. This gives you access to as long as we as a platform are alive. How many guided projects are there and what are they? So you can scroll down a bit where we introduce the first 3 guided projects, which is the first one is building a social media app with just local storage as the API. It's not a very fancy, or we are not using backend, front end, full stack, Firebase, not anything like that. It focuses more on React and local storage and front end skills. The second one is multiverse HTML5 photo gallery project, which again is guided and focused on front end. This tic-tac-toe version manager, tic-tac-toe multiplayer version, is a full stack project where you get to build a real-time game app within the browser using WebSockets. These are the 3 guided projects, and we are upgrading more projects to guided ones. And we have certain plans for Hacktoberfest as well. As you guys might have realized that next month is October, which means it's Hacktober. So we would have a lot more projects coming up in the Hacktoberfest, which would be added for free in your full stack learning path. Will there be a DSA course in the future? Yes, there would be. Like I mentioned, Codedam has been opened to external content creators as well, and we are working on a few Python, C++, and Java courses, which would also involve parts of and contents in the DSA world. So that is something which is definitely on our roadmap. Internship assistance is a bit tricky. We used to have that for a few batches, but it did not work out very well with the partner which we were having. So currently we are taking a step back on the assistance part, because once we introduce it, it would be a high responsibility for us as well. And personally, I would be making sure that we are not just giving false hope to people. So right now, as of now, there is no internship assistance thing as such. The doubt support, you can head over to Codedam's Discord server, that is discord.gg/Codedam. And you would be able to interact with community, including me, including the team. And, as and when you face any problems, the best way, first of all, is to ask the question right and there on the Codedam website itself, so that the instructor can see and answer your question. If not, then you can also use the community server to ask questions. Anything for DevOps? Yes, we are working on a few infrastructure changes for DevOps that, I mean, I shouldn't probably be giving the spoiler right away, but we are working on adding support for courses which can help you learn, let's say, AWS or Google Cloud or these sort of platforms through sandbox accounts on their platforms itself. So these courses are heavily under progress. This infrastructure is in work in progress, but it is being worked on. So very soon, in a span of a few months, you would be able to, let's say, take up an AWS mastery course or a learning path on Codeland, which will teach you how to work with AWS, EC2 instances, how to configure CI/CD things, and all of that within the AWS control panel itself. Again, something which is super early. No timelines fixed on this, but would definitely be rolled out very soon. Course duration, I think one of the ways to take a look at how much time it might take you is to go down and click on the full stack learning path and take a look inside this widget, this tiny little widget which we have. How much time do you need to complete this learning path? So let's say if I spend 2 hours a day and only 2 days a week, and I'm a fast learner, let's say, I mean, this is like a huge amount of time. So let's say we are learning, every single day for a couple of hours. So it'll be done more or less in 8 months. Again, this is like an estimation. So it might take you less, it might take you more. But let's say if you're putting in more work, let's say if you are doing 5 hours a day for almost every single day, you might as well just wrap it in a couple of months. But again, this is also an overestimation. If you learn at a moderate pace, and if you just learn for 5 days, you can just play around with this configuration. Just give it whatever you think you are, a moderate learner, a fast learner, or a slow learner, and you will be able to calculate more or less the duration which it might take you to complete this full stack. Can we expect notes in the courses? No, not in every course. Notes are not provided, but we are working on a feature where you can build your own notes while you're working in a course. So you can export them out once the course is finished, or even when it's not finished. But as of now, notes don't exist in every single course. There are few courses which comes with cheat sheets at the end. So you can export a cheat sheet of a particular course in a PDF format. But again, it is recommended. And in fact, I do personally also outside of Codeland, even if you're watching a YouTube video, excuse me, even if you're watching a YouTube video or, even a Udemy course or anything outside of Codeland, I would recommend taking your notes yourself, because when you create notes yourself, you get a much better understanding. But I agree, this is something which we can also enforce as a guideline in the courses itself. Let's see. I think there are a lot of questions already. Let me just pick out a few things. Okay, so there's an interesting one. I'm already enrolled for 6 months. Am I eligible? So this is an interesting question for people who are already pro members in the chat and they are looking at this offer. My answer to this question is, in a way, I mean, it's yes and no both. It is a no, because if you're already a pro member, you already have access to this learning path, right? So you don't have to spend more money to buy this. It would, yes, if you go ahead and if you buy this, this will give you access to lifetime for this learning path, whereas your pro membership only gives you access as long as you are a pro member. So I would say no for the 6-month person, because it is possible that you, if not in 6 months, then in 1 year, it is possible that you complete this full stack learning path. But yeah, I mean, it depends on you as well in a way. If you're buying full stack, if you're buying pro membership and you're not completing full stack learning path, and if you're doing something else, let's say Web3 or anything, and you don't intend to continue your membership in 6 months, then of course this makes sense. But if you're, just already focused on the full stack learning path, then I don't think you need to buy this. In front end, have you explained different types of hooks? Yes, there are courses on React itself, specific courses on React query, React hooks, advanced React concepts, where we go into custom hooks, creating our own hooks, use effect, use state, everything. And all of these courses are getting upgraded as well. Are there any live classes? No, there are no live classes included in this. So that is one thing which you should be aware about. This is an interactive course. This is a hands-on course which will help you practice while you're learning. So it does not include a bunch of live classes in it. Can we freelance after this course? Absolutely. You can freelance during this course as well. As you're learning front end, for example, let's say you're proficient with React and JavaScript and HTML. You're not proficient with backend. You can, of course, start taking up front end gigs or, web designing gigs. So that's it. How do you stay updated with the new developments in tech? I have posted a video on this a little while ago as well. I mean, the best sources are Twitter, Reddit, um, you know, Hacker Rank, not Hacker Rank, Hacker News, for example, is also a great source where a lot of companies and products list down their new releases. Reddit subreddits is a great source of information as well, and just following the right Twitter accounts is also one of the things. Let's see. Can we get full stack web developer learning path at student discount too? No, student discount is only valid on Codedamp Pro membership. Is there any student discount? Again, the similar question. It's only valid on Codedamp Pro membership as of now. It's not valid on any single course or any, for example, this bundle of course, this full stack learning path. It's not valid on that. Please add a chat section, discussion section, playground also. Yes, this is one of the priorities which we are taking up internally. Chat section is there for your standalone playgrounds which you create. So for example, if I go ahead and create, let's say, an HTML playground over here, I would be able to see a chat section over here where, if I invite my friends, if I send this link to you, if I invite you over here, then I would be able to send messages. But yeah, I mean, I get the point which you're mentioning, that this should also be available within the labs itself. So that is something which we are working on. How long is this valid? This comes with a lifetime access. So if you buy this right now, you would have access to it as long as, we are alive. So that is one thing. How to learn about APIs, like how to use Stripe, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean API. So this is an interesting question because one of the things which guided projects can really help and really solve is this question. So let's say we come up with a guided project on, just like we have Word App Social Media. Let's say we come up with a guided project of integrating subscriptions with Stripe. And inside of that, every single step which you see over here, this is like setting up Stripe as the first step, getting these Stripe SDK keys, building your first payment intent, building your first subscription, setting up webhooks. So there could be multiple steps as a guided project to take you through how to set up Stripe in your projects. So this is one of the things which is very interesting because this is something I really like as well. What we can do with guided projects is create very complex ideas or very complex app ideas and put them as projects on the platform. So yeah, I mean, this does not really answer your question, but for now, how to learn about APIs, like how to use Stripe. For Stripe, documentation is great. Stripe has some of the best documentation websites in the world. Cloudflare, again, Cloudflare documentation or tutorials is a good way to go. But as and when we introduce guided project supports for these technologies, I'm pretty sure like that would be a game changer for anyone who wants to learn things. Like just imagine if you take up a guided project on Cloudflare Workers API and you end up, with a screen like this where you end up creating a worker by the end of 7th or 8th step. You would know how to work with workers, you would know how to set them up, and you don't even have to like technically watch a video tutorial or a course. You just have to code, and that's I feel like that's awesome for people who are professionals or people who are someone who already are familiar with technologies and they don't want to just take a full JavaScript course only to learn about Stripe in the end last 10 minutes. So yeah, I mean, that's something which I'm really looking forward to, for us to implement such more guided projects along the way. Your course explained prototype like concept in depth. Yes, I mean, on a conceptual level, there are a lot of concepts which are there in the courses, but I always recommend students as well to go out and figure out and tinker with the code themselves as well, because that helps you as a developer go out of the boundaries assigned to you. That is why playgrounds exist in the first place as well, because when we throw a full playground at you, it gives you the opportunity to tweak the code. It gives you the opportunity to mess around with the code and see what all is possible, instead of just sticking with a static video approach, which you can also do, but that doesn't give you a lot of freedom to learn. So yeah, I mean, these concepts are covered, but more important than that, you can spin up a Codedamp playground and you can try to debug further. Like, you're just talking about prototype. You can go to an HTML playground and you can just start taking a look at what a prototype thing or what something could really mean. Like you can go to the browser dev tools over here and you can say something like, just try to look into the prototype thing and try to start debugging what all is possible. Like that is what I want from people to do, use Codedam playgrounds properly. And all of this is available in the courses. All of this is available on Codedam for free. Go ahead and try to experiment with these things, and you will become a better developer this way. What does Pro have that full stack learning path does not? This is also an amazing question. So Pro has access to a few more things. The first thing which Pro has access to is all the learning paths in this. So right now, what you are getting is this full stack learning path. Pro, as if you have a Pro license, you have access to backend, you have access to front end, you have access to Web3, you will have access to DevOps when it comes out. As a Pro member, you have access to this Accelerators tab also. Accelerators are small cohort-based group, which are, something like 30 to 60-day initiative where you get to be a part of 60, 70, 80, 100 people where you learn a particular thing together. This is the major difference between Pro and someone who's buying a full stack learning path. Pro have access to the full platform for a limited time. Learning path has access to a bunch of courses for an unlimited time. So again, the cost of Pro per month is lower. The cost of full stack learning path or a learning path is higher on a single go, but it depends on what you want. Do you want a subscription based learning, or do you want to have a lifetime based access to a particular thing? What is the difference between paid course and YouTube free course? I mean, for the most part, if you are buying a video course from Udemy, there could be a difference in quality. There could be a difference in how the instructor is delivering the content. But mostly, this is a valid question because at the end of the day, both of them are video courses. Even if you're buying a paid course, that's a video course, and YouTube free course is also a video course. What Codedam, for example, does to break out of this noise and be also useful is that we introduce concept of interactive courses, right? So let me just actually walk you through a few examples. So let's say you are on this course where you're trying to learn HTML and CSS on Codedam, or let's say not HTML, CSS, advanced HTML, CSS concepts. So when you start this course, for example, as a user, you are starting with a video course, right? Initially, you have these video items and everything. But eventually, within these video items and within these things which are available, there you would see there are a bunch of labs. You see this, for example, this CSS variable. This is a lab on CSS variables. This lab helps you boot a Codedam playground within your lab itself, which is like a actual IDE environment, and you get to practice. For example, you just learned about CSS variables in a video, right? A video before that, this was the video. Then the next thing you know is you're practicing it inside your browsers. So you are trying to, change colors, or maybe, just mess around with the values. You are messing around with what the code can do and cannot do. And you're completing these challenges, you're completing these tasks, you're checking the verified solution if there is anything different about it. For example, if you're unable to solve a lab, you will see that how to solve. For example, in this case, if I'm missing this, you would be able to see what all you need to do in order to fix your lab, in order to become a better developer by practicing. So this, I feel, is one of the biggest USP of learning from a platform like Codedam instead of YouTube, because on YouTube or on Udemy or on any other video platform, it is very easy to start a course, sit back, take a bucket of popcorn, and just binge the whole course without actually learning anything. But here you can't do this because, well, you have to put your snacks on the side and write code. And once you start writing code, you would realize, oh, you have to think before you write. So that is the difference between what I feel is a great difference as well between a Codedam course and a free YouTube course. Are the projects done with Typescript? Not right now, but you can do them. It's not a requirement that you have to stick with the tech stack given to you initially. That is the thing, right? You can start this project, and this project gives you certain steps. That's it. We just give you instructions and guidelines, and we just tell you how to do a particular thing. We don't tell you that, for example, here, let's say we are telling you inside of labs, but we don't really tell you that you have to go ahead and use Tailwind, or you have to go ahead and or use style components or something else. You can choose your own tech stack. You can choose TypeScript, you can choose JavaScript, you can choose whatever you want. You just have to set it up properly within the playground infrastructure itself, right? So that is one thing which you have to do, that you have to set up the infrastructure properly yourself. Install TypeScript over here, install the right npm packages, and it'll automatically work. So just to, deviate from the Q&A and questions a little bit, the reason we are having this live, one of the big reasons is to introduce Code Day. Code Day is one of our paths where we share every month what's updated on the content, what new courses are there, what's upgraded, what is new to learn on the platform. This month we are launching guided projects, which is these collections of 3 guided projects: full stack project on building a tic-tac-toe multiplayer game, and then a few front-end projects which take you from a step-by-step approach. All of them are part of the learning path of full stack web developer learning path, and you can upgrade it to your account to have access to full stack learning path at a 75% off right now. So this discount is dynamic in nature to gamify this a little bit, to reward, for example, people like you who are on this live stream, who are watching this as it's going on, to get it at a very cheap discount, very cheap price, irrespective of what country you are from, and you will have the 75% discount. So yeah, if you're trying to become a full stack developer, this is a good way to start your journey. Any course on SaaS in the future? Sure. SaaS is a technology which I used to use a lot earlier, but we dropped it in support of Tailwind CSS. But it's definitely an interesting technology, which is not really a mandatory tech for a full stack developer, but could probably go as an individual course or inside of a bonus section. I want to add a course on Codedam. Ashpreet, what you can do is you can go to codedam.com/instructor and go through this page. And if you're interested, you also get an option to set up a time slot with me. You can take up a time slot with me where we can discuss how to help you create a course, right? This is strictly for people who are looking forward to creating a course. And you can go to your instructor dashboard as well. Try to look at the documentation. A lot of documentation for creating interactive courses is on teach.codedam.com, where you can go through how to set up interactive labs on Codedam playgrounds, right? Again, this is something which is not very used for someone who's trying to become a developer, but this is for people in the crowd who are actually good developers. And this is something which I also want to convey. If you are a developer, if you are someone who thinks you are great, who thinks you are good with, let's say, technologies like C, C++, Python, Node, Java, anything, and you feel like you can create interactive courses on Codedam, I would really, really recommend you to build and sell these interactive courses on Codedam. Go to codedam.com/instructor and help us build a community, help us build the largest interactive platform, help these people learn at a very quality level of education, right? I showed you a few courses which I have made, which the team has made, which are interactive in nature, and we are bringing this technology to everyone. So you don't have to worry about setting up the infrastructure. You don't have to worry about setting up anything. Just build courses and even sell it if you want. But again, this is for people who are already developers. If you are trying to become a full stack developer and build such courses, then I would recommend going to codedam.com/code day and take a look at how to become a full stack developer using this discount. Any future updates in the course will be made available in the same. Yes, that is true. Full stack course is too long. I guess yes, because it will take you a lot of time to become a full stack developer. It's not a single course, like I mentioned. It's a collection of a lot of mini courses. Give lifetime access. This is lifetime access. How much time does it take to complete the full stack course? Like I mentioned earlier, also, you can go back over here and you can just go to learning paths and full stack, go and scroll down to this widget over here, and you can browse how much time will it take you through this interactive widget. Just go through and see what kind of duration you end up with. That is like a rough estimate, obviously. Is it just a path, or the course has a discount of 75? So Okay, let me just clear this up real quick again as well. This discount is not on a single course. This discount is on a full stack learning path. So if you open this path, you're gonna see that you have a bunch of courses over here. So the moment you buy this, you get access to all of these courses, not a single course, not a couple of courses, but all of these courses listed on this page. You get access to this, and you get clear this you upgrade to the full stack learning path, and you get access to all of these courses. That is what it means. So yeah, that's I think that's a wrap for this stream, because we discussed a lot of things which I felt were important, from guided projects to how to become a full stack developer to even how to become an instructor at Codeland. That is also an interesting thing which I want to discuss more about on these coming streams. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you got to learn something new, and you got to know something about full stack as well. I'm going to take a final question, which I can see from Alankrit. Are we taught how to set up environments locally or only on Codedam Playground? So that is again an interesting question, because Codedam Playgrounds are actually like your local environments only. They are just slightly controlled. So if you take a look at codedam.com/playgrounds, and if you open this HTML playground, let's say, you're going to realize that what boots here is not magical, right? Whatever boots here, that's this terminal over here, it is a terminal which is available on your system also. And the static server, this is a node module, right? If you go to Google and write this, you're going to see that static server exists as an npm package. This is exactly what we are using. This file structure, this file system is actually your folder inside what you open as VS Code. These tabs are the actual tabs. So you see, we are not doing any magic. We are not doing anything. Again, when you open this on port 1337, what you will do as a next step is you will visit localhost 1337. That is what we do. We just, give you access to this particular URL, which is browsable on internet, right? So this is something which we do. I feel like we don't do a lot of magic behind the scenes. We just try to keep it as it is, like it is actually in reality. And that is like our superpower of Codedam Playgrounds, that you get all the benefits of cloud, all the benefits of cloud computing, but at the same time, it does not abstract away what you need to learn. So if I say you to install yarn, add, let's say, express, that is exactly how you will do here, and that is exactly how you will do it on your local system as well. That is the beauty of working on Codedam Playgrounds. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this live. I'm gonna call this a wrap for this live. Again, go to codedam.com/codeday to take benefit of this 75% off offer on full stack learning path, where you get access to a lot of these interactive courses, a lot of guided projects, and a lot of community help, community support through our Discord server as well. And this consists of all the future courses which will be added to this learning path and updated from this learning path. So rest assured, you are in good hands if you take up a course like this. So that is all for this one. I'm just gonna end this video with a note from Shashank. The best thing about Codedam, you can learn a lot in a short time and actually work on projects after that. And just to answer the final question from Vinayak, is this course offer includes Playground? Yes, it includes Playground access as well. All the playgrounds and all the guided projects are included. All right, guys, thank you so much for a great stream. I look forward for you to take part on Codedam's Code Day for September. And I'm looking forward to see you inside a full stack learning path. That is all for this stream. I'm going to see you in the next stream real quick. Take care and bye-bye.